So now this brings us to our weekly speaker spot here at Business at Breakfast. And so every week at Business at Breakfast, one of the business members gets the opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use this time to problem solve or seek assistance and advice from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. Today we have the wonderful Lorrie Brook. Lorrie Brook lives in Queensland, Australia, and is a relationship architect whose online relationship program helps hundreds of people each year to reset their relationship so they can stay together or separate amicably. Lorrie speaks to business groups each week on the topics of communication, conflict resolution, and relationships, and is available to speak at corporate events from $2,000. She's well known all over the world for resetting relationships, and her online course is available directly from her website. So with that, Lorrie, you have up to 8 minutes to tell us about what it is that you do. I'm going to do this at time, but I'm not going to cut in and cut you off. So that's up to you to watch. If you happen to be finished earlier than that, more time for questions. The time is yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Misty. Can I check? Can you see my screen?
Yep, it's coming on.
Beautiful. Yep. Hi, everyone. My name is Lorrie Brook. I am from The Relationship Architect, and I am a relationship architect, mediator, and coach. I sell an online relationship program. It costs $497, and the people who buy it are people who are struggling in their relationships, want to stay together, or ultimately they want to separate amicably. I help them to reset their relationships. So the question is, why me? Why now? These words have been spoken by children that I represented in family law proceedings. I wish mummy and daddy would stop being nasty to each other. I don't want to choose. Mum tells me I'm just like my dad. Dad wishes I wasn't so much like grandma. These words have been spoken by children who have been involved in conflict and been caught in the middle between mum and dad. So let me ask you this. How often have you heard yourself speak and thought that, geez, I just sound like my mother, or I can't believe I said that. My dad used to always say that. Or you've caught your children speaking and go, oh, they really sound like me now. How often have you heard your children do the same thing? You see, for me, I am on a mission to help parents to do conflict better for the benefit of their children. Because as parents, we teach our children how to talk. They learn how to communicate from us. They learn by listening to us. They learn by watching us. They learn by copying what we do. They learn how to deal with conflict. They learn how to deal with frustrations. They learn how to regulate their emotions by the way that we do it. And I can say, I know firsthand that I was taught how to fight from watching my mum and dad. And I can see my daughter reacting ways that my husband and I fight. What we say and do as parents and as adults is so important. If anything, at this particular point in time, we are in a system where our courts are not coping. The rates of domestic violence are going up. The rates of separation are going up. And we need to do something better. And it's great that we can sit here and go, the courts need to change, the court systems need to change. But at the end of the day, it's a system that we have. So if we want change, we need to create that change ourselves. If we want things to be different, if we want to change the way that we do conflict, that we deal with controversy, bickering, miscommunication, fighting disputes, then we have to make that change ourselves. We have to stop waiting for somebody else to do that for us. And that is why I created the online program, because it works. It helps people to understand what they can do to create this change, to move past the overwhelm, to stop feeling scared, to stop feeling like a failure. And it provides them with an opportunity to grow, because that's what this is all about at the end of the day. Mediation from a family law perspective, it's mandatory. If you're going to start proceedings for a family law matter, you more or less have to do mediation. But mediation costs money. Court costs money. And at the end of the day, there is a cheaper way, both financially and emotionally, for people to do it themselves. as business owners, we are constantly learning about new processes, new systems. We're constantly doing professional development. We're learning new CRMs. We're learning new techs. We're learning new ways to do social media, SEO, all of that. And this is no different. It's just about our relationships. It's just about us personally. And so this is what the program does. It is an early intervention program so that people can create change before they even separate, if they even go down that path. And that way they won't be paying thousands of dollars for mediation, not to mention the emotional cost that it takes on their children to be involved in those disputes. At the end of the day, if we can help people for less than $500 learn about themselves more so that they can start communicating, stop fighting, and improve their relationships, that is going to pay dividends for everyone involved. I'm Lorrie, and I'm from the Relationship Architect.
Well done, Lorrie. Thank you so much. Well done, Lorrie. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, unshare your screen and let's have questions. Yep, Helen's got a hand up.
So Lorrie, just where are you on my screen? I've lost you. Oh, there you are, right next to me. I just wanted to ask you, so how is the program run? I mean, is it it's an online program or is it done with you?
So it is an online program. It's video readings, exercises to do, and then there are face-to-face calls as well. When I say face-to-face, Zoom calls.
Okay, thanks.
What was the cost?
$497.
Mm-hmm. Nope, sorry, Miss Paul, did you have your hand up on that, Clayton? Clayton, you got your hand up?
Bit of an odd question, I think. If things don't go well, are you willing to help people through the process of the courts or not?
I can help people with separations, but through the courts process, I'd be saying go see Claire.
Cool.
Good point. Yep.
Mm.
Someone else? Yep.
Oh, so do you do mediation as well though, right?
Yes, I do.
So if they still wanted to separate and wanted to not go to court, they could still go to you with the mediation, even if they had done the course.
It depends. If both of them had done the course, I'd be happy to do the mediation, but if only one of them, no, not from that conflict perspective.
Yeah.
Right. And with you in the past, because we've chatted before, so with you in the past is, so the course is, let's say $500. But if they haven't done the course and they do the mediation, well, they're really just paying a mediation price to really do the course together inside mediation at the mediation price before they even get to the mediation stuff.
Yep.
So really what's learned is not negotiable, and it's almost like a preview, like sort of what was that word we used the other day? But it was like pre-learning. You have to do this in order to do the mediation, or you'll pay top dollar to do it inside the mediation before we even
the pre-training.
Pre-training, that was the word. Yes, yes. I was likening it to me doing my diploma of life coaching through the Coaching Institute. For me to be able to do the NLP course, I had to book in minimum 30 days before I could even start it, and then do the pre-training. It was 19 discs that I had to listen to 3 times each before I was even allowed to go to the NLP training, the face-to-face training, which then took a week as well. And I have to say the training then was completely different, because all the training we learned inside the discs, but then what we did at the face-to-face was the discussion of the discs and actually testing out how to do all that practice stuff in NLP, like how to phobia bust and chain and anchors and all sorts of interesting things. So yeah, we got to practice it, but it became only a week-long course face-to-face instead of weeks of us doing all the pre-training first. So that's excellent. Any more questions for Lorrie? She was very thorough, wasn't she? And straight to the point. All right, so here's how it works, right? Because Lorrie was so thorough and really gave us, and definitely for me, like different ways to look at things. It was very powerful, you starting with the lines that what children say, right? So Shirley, I'll get to you in a sec. So I know at the end of this, you'll probably leave going, oh, I have this great question. That's all right, just contact Lorrie. Just send her an email or send her a message and book in for a one-to-one so you can ask more questions and find out more. Shanley, you've got your hand up just before we move to the next section.
Yeah, I just sort of a quick question for Lorrie, because I thought it was an amazing presentation and kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little bit, talking about the kids and everything. And I just wondered if you could share with us maybe one of your most favorite success stories from helping people through mediation.
Yeah. So for me, it was a family. Dad was a FIFO worker. So fly in, fly out, and they had a brand new baby, a little girl. And so mum would be at home with the baby and dad would be flying in, flying out. And over a couple of months, clearly mum's learning how to change nappies, what the baby likes and putting to sleep, bottles, feeding, all of that. And dad would come home and mum would come in and say, no, you've got to do it this way. No, you've got to do it this way. No, she doesn't like that. She likes to be done this. And dad was getting really disheartened because he was trying to create this connection, but being away 7 on, 7 off, he wasn't getting very much time. And then when he'd come home and mum was coming in and going, no, you're doing it wrong, he just felt like it wasn't working. And so by about month 4, their relationship had really started taking a toll. And so when we could work together and actually see that this wasn't mum telling dad he was doing it wrong, but just trying to show dad that, hey, this is what the child likes, so that you'll be able to settle her easily. And then you've got more time to create that connection. And it wasn't a, you're doing it wrong. It's just, I want to help you to build this relationship because I do it every day style thing. That's when it really started to blossom and flourish. And they're fine now.
That's awesome. Thank you.
What a great story. Thank you so much, Lorrie. All right. So for anyone else who has more questions, put them in the chat box or send a message to Lorrie later if things come up for you, so that you can book him for a one-to-one to find out some more or hear some more things about that. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Lorrie.